and welcome to Sew Your Stash. Today on Sew Your Stash, we are going to be working on projects from our sewing stash. But, of course, we have to have our mustache. Chances are, if you're a seamstress, or if you like to sew, looks like we got something for you. This series is called Sew Your Stash, and we are going to be sewing our stash.
On today's Sew Your Stash, I'm going to be using this Rainbow Cloud spandex material. Because it's spandex, I don't need to hem it. I got this fabric in Los Angeles a long time ago. The link to that video haul is down in the description below. With this material, I think I'm going to be making a nice robe or a kimono, as so called in fashion terms, for myself to wear around the house or going out. And I actually kind of started with a tie, so this robe actually already has a tie. I was thinking about using this as a headband, and I cut it off already before thinking about using the rest of the stash to make something nice and to match this. So the good part about this little stash here is that it's just a rectangle, you fold it, and then you sew it. This is one of the most basic things you can do with fabric and when you start sewing. So, with that being said, and I don't have footage of me making this, let's just go ahead and show you how I began to make the cloud kimono.
I'm just now noticing that the cut isn't even, so... Hello! A wild bulldog appears! Hello! So in order for me to determine the length of the kimono that I'm going to be doing, or robe rather, is I'm going to use the actual collar piece as a measurement and go a little bit further down, and then this way it'll give me extra seam allowance for the top and the bottom. So because this is actually cut unevenly, also on my part, I'm going to scoot it down a little bit and make sure it's a straight cut, and then make sure the bottom is also a straight cut. This is actually the pattern going downwards this way, not going upwards this way. So actually this is going to be the top up there, and then this part is going to be my bottom hem.
Next, I'm going to fold it over so I can line it up together and then cut the bottom off to create a straight hemline. You can see that Bowser wanted to come and help along too. Cut the fold to create two pieces. These are now going to be our sleeves. With the rest of the fabric, I'm going to cut off the bottom edge to make it nice and even. Then I'm going to fold it into a trifold, aka 3 different pieces, cut them on the fold to create the front, 2 pieces, and the back.
So now what I did, I took that 3 cut and now I pinned it together. And now I'm just going to sew this together at the sides. So with the 2 pieces that we cut in half, we're actually going to sew them together into a nice long rectangle. Eventually we're going to turn this into our sleeves. Alright, find the correct proper way of facing, which is this way. And then we are going to pin it together right here.
After you completely pin down the sides of the rectangle, go ahead and sew it so it creates a long tube. If you want, you can cut your tube a little bit shorter, but these are going to be your sleeves. I wanted my sleeves to be really long and slouchy for extra comfort. After this, all I have to do is pin it into the armholes, sew it together, and call it done. So this is the end kimono. I'm really happy with it. I know it's just a bunch of rectangles, and sometimes that's just what sewing is without having to go hardcore. So I did follow the grain of the fabric, and it's so stretchy. So you just want to make sure you use the correct stitches and the right type of needle. And my sleeves are really big, so if you don't really want big sleeves, you can change it. It's so simple. Also, I mean, I can kind of fit my head in this. Like, what kind of YouTuber would I be if I didn't put my head inside of my sleeves? Oh well. So I just wanted to point out, with Sew Your Stash, I wanted to sew as much as possible from this material. This is all that I have left. I don't think I can really use this for anything other than like small ribbons and strips. I'm not sure if I can use this for something else, but I will hold on to it because this is still my purchase. And you know, the biggest piece is like this. I already have a belt. I could turn this potentially into like a scarf piece, like for my, like a bandana piece, perhaps. But the rest of it is still too kind of like straggly and long, and then this is basically cording, so. So I'm very proud that I was able to use almost all of the fabric into this DIY. I hope you guys enjoyed watching Sew Your Stash today. So remember to leave a comment if you have any Sew Your Stash ideas or any other things that you would like to see me make from Sew Your Stash. And that's about it. So make sure to subscribe to never miss out on any future content, and remember to grow your stash and sew your stash.
Remember to keep a healthy stash by sewing your stash. And that way, we have beautiful, creative products out there in the world. Make sure to share with Sew Your Stash hashtag. And we'll see you next time.